Jim, it's great to see you again. Folks, today,
Take four.
having some massive internet issues today, folks. I don't know what's going on. Again, it's a little sketchy right now as we're talking, so we'll see how long this goes on for. But anyways, folks, that's behind the scenes scrap. You're not here to hear that. And our problems, you're here to hear the country's problems. And they start off with Trump's 34 convictions. We are going to go into all of that and play some videos from some pissed off people.
I think it's like 12 convictions,
12.
but
yeah, 34.
They're all
charges.
the same thing, I think.
They're all the same thing. We go into all that. When is enough is the motto of today's show. Also, we're going to talk about the probe into EV payoffs. Jim will tell us that. AG Merrick Garland is interfering with our elections as we speak. The woke Defense Department, they made a big mistake Jim's going to tell us about. Dr. Fauci is being questioned as we are recording. And Jim, it's our first show of Pride 2024. So all that plus so much more on what?
Two sparkling guys.
Correct.
One fabulous coup.
Super fabulous.
Welcome to the Two Guys, One Coup podcast with Dale and Jim, where the truth matters and progressives' feelings don't. We bring you the facts from the perspective of two average, everyday guys who will never apologize for being America first, for adhering to our great Constitution, and for saluting the flag that our brothers and sisters have fought and died for. And now, here's Dale and Jim.
Because we are sparkly dudes.
We're sparkly dudes, folks. Welcome to Pride 2024. So sparkling, two sparkling guys, one fabulous coup. Just for the month. Just for the month of June. You know, to do our part.
Because we have to. We have to do our part.
Yeah, we have to do our part. It's probably why my internet's not working. Somebody's listening.
He's pissed.
Would it surprise you that somebody's listening? I mean,
see, my internet's fine, which means behind the scenes, I support them. You see me out there. Woo.
You're always behind the scenes when it comes to that, Jim. Let's get into this. We're going to talk about these convictions, but first we want to start with obviously the pride.
The important stuff, right?
Yeah, the important stuff. The stuff being shoved down our throats.
Because it seems there's a group of people that don't care about anything else going on in this country or this world.
Except
this month is all that matters to them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Jim, they had a pride event in my very red county, very red city, very red state. I was made aware of. Again, this is our fourth time trying to record this, so it's not a surprise to you. But
and you still have the little red dot there.
I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on, but I feel I'm being doxxed. Mm-hmm. Somebody's listening in, and if they're going after Alex Jones, why wouldn't they come after us? We are equally as popular, if not more. Anyway, sip of coffee first.
Yeah.
On to Pride. Mm-hmm. So they had this event. Mm-hmm. And in this event, it was held at a park, a children's park, Jim. Mm-hmm. And they had all sorts of things going on that was, listed on the flyer. Happened June 1st. I wasn't made aware of it until today. But I got a picture of the flyer with questions saying, what the hell's going on in that town? I mean, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're having a pride event. Okay. Not a problem.
Know. You're the organizer. Yeah. I know you are.
I don't know. Nothing to do with it. Anyways, so I was the master of ceremony in my assless
right
chaps,
in the open.
In the open convertible,
open
assless chaps, nipple rings, leather vest, and whip. Anyways, so I look at this and there's things on there. So they have a pride choir. Didn't know that existed here. Awesome.
It's raining men.
Hallelujah. Women can be gay too. So why's it got to be raining men?
Because that seems to be the
sexist
theme song. I'm just saying.
Sexist. Anyways, a lot of them I've heard listen to religiously Hall and Oates, but that's what I've heard. Your boyfriend's
kind
in a
of
big
bothers
fight,
me a bit
aren't
because
they?
they're fighting.
Yeah, they're fighting. There's a little
Yeah.
squabble going on between those fellers. Anyway, so they have this choir, and then they have food trucks, and they have these events. They had a
Again,
parade.
that's fine.
A parade. That's fine and all
Yeah.
that. Two things.
Well, parade.
What?
Yeah,
If they keep just
like
wave your
year,
signs, do what you got to do, whatever.
Like last year,
it's fine. Yeah.
Well, like last year in Seattle when the guy was naked sitting there talking to a family. I don't think that's appropriate. I'm sorry.
Well, but who's the family? Who do you blame? The naked guy that they allow do it in the city?
I kind of blame.
Who do you
both
blame the
of them.
family? All of them. All of them. You're bringing your kids to this thing. Well, this one was for all ages, and they featured a drag queen story hour again, folks. Why? Why are pretend women feel the need to just read stories to kids? Why is that a thing? Can you imagine?
I mean, not just pretend women. I mean, they're dressed up like no woman I've ever seen.
Well, no, you're right. I mean, it's above and beyond. That's what drag queens do, and that's fine.
Have too many questions now. Let's leave them alone.
I mean, this is what they want to. It's the indoctrination again of them. I mean, they got to go after the youth, and they got to go after you. So all of you that are screaming we're homophobes and transphobes, and I don't care.
Yeah,
to an extent, I don't care. I mean, I think you're all bizarre. I think the trans community is absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, gay. The LBG part, we are. Hey, have fun, enjoy.
Or basically just the G part because it's all the same.
Well, that's
So whatever.
Trans,
I mean,
adult, fine. Kids, leave them alone.
I know. What if you had white parades, or if you had straight parades, or if you had? I mean, like these are things I question. You know, if we have all of these things then what happens? Well, of course, then we're racist and homophobes and we're everything else because.
Well, I mean, there's always a good point made. We have Miss USA that you can be any color.
Yeah.
So far, you have to be female. So I don't think but anyway, you've got that. You can be any color, but then again, they have Miss Black USA.
Well, that's right.
I do believe there's a Miss Hispanic or something like that. And
I don't know about that.
There's no white people in that.
There's no.
So either way, fine. Enjoy. It is what it is.
I don't have to partake in it. It's not that. I don't have to partake in it. But the whole point is that they're having drag queen story hour and face painting for children, and it's geared towards children. This is
exactly what it's geared towards.
It's geared towards children, and it's like that's happening here.
And how would you handle it if a kid goes home and looks at their father and said, "Where are your boobs, Daddy?
Where's your makeup, Pops?
I don't know.
Where's your
these individuals? You could tell. Okay. You can't. Drag queens, you can tell. Okay.
Drag queens, you can tell because
we've seen some trans people. Holy shit. They did a good job.
Tell.
They did a really good job. But
a handful of them.
Handful, right.
Handful of them. To be
some of them,
with you.
Not so much.
Watching, Jim, you ever watch Naked and Afraid, the show?
No, I do not.
It is. I am like addicted to that show. It's really good. It's really well done.
I'm always afraid when I'm naked.
They always, yeah. But this year, this season, they started off, and we're a few shows behind, so we're catching up on Discovery Plus. They have to make it 40 days out, and they're in the Columbia jungle. But there's a trans.
Is it, or is it Hollywood?
It's not Hollywood. It's not Hollywood. Now, of course, there's film crews. Of course, there's but it's a really well done show. I think it's as far as reality shows, it's a pretty well done.
Anything
show.
Gordon Ramsay does, I watch, so I get it. Yes. I understand.
Yeah. But there's a trans in there. That's fine. I mean, you can have it. I don't think it's representative of the. So 1 out of the 12 people is trans, and the show
through the surgery
representative, huh?
Through the surgery or not surgery? Just
halfway.
Okay.
Man going to woman. So they got to blotch out the boobs. This guy's fully like hair on face. More than like you. It looks like you.
Yeah.
Jim, was he? No, but it looks like you. I mean, this guy's
No,
fully man. And it's got boobs.
How long do you think I would last naked in the jungle? I'm out.
The minute they said, okay, take your clothes off, I'm out.
We're done.
What's going to bite me? Where? I mean,
Exactly.
It's crazy, dude. It is nuts. Yeah. And they're wrestling like alligators and killing them. And like, I'm like, Jesus, what is happening here? Anyways, there's a trans on there. It is what it is. But that's the whole, like, that. It's just, this is craziness what's going on here. Also, in some of the news, there's a 14-year-old who was taken by the biological mother from Montana to Canada to get transgender either surgery or treatment to become transgender, whether that's puberty blockers or what, without the father's permission. The father's remarried. They have a daughter together. This woman, the mom, the biological mom, said, screw you, took the daughter, and he's got no recourse. Absolutely no recourse. We've seen that in other stories. We saw it in the movie Dysphoria with a father in Texas whose wife did the same thing to their son.
This child was 2 in Texas.
Yes.
The 2-year-old knows they want to be. Yep.
Of course.
Yep.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, like I think somebody said my 2-year-old wants to be a bull, so I'm taking him to the doctor to get horns put on him. Yeah. I mean, like, this is like that's the equation of it all. But that happened, which is insane. And then, of course, something we never saw coming, Jim. Third strike. Trans rape suspect prompts rebellion against California law. Oh, no. Third strike. Yeah. Prompts rebellion against California law after attack in women's prison. So here we go. This is what we saw. A transgender identified California convict with a lengthy record of criminal violence has been transferred out of the women's correctional facility and back to a men's prison after being indicted for rape. Never saw that coming, did we?
No.
Never saw that coming. And all the times we've reported it, never, ever, ever have we seen that coming.
In honor of Pride Month.
In honor of Pride Month. This is craziness. This is absolutely craziness.
Another male won a girls' high school 400-meter relay.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. And then there was a picture afterwards, Jim. What happened?
I wish I had the picture. We need to find that.
I know you can find it.
I should have done the story for Pride Month, but because in honor of women losing everything. Yep. But Harrison Buckner was wrong with what he says. But anyway,
yes, that's right.
So yeah, this guy in the picture has to bend down in order to be in the picture. And it's ridiculous. I mean, you could tell. You can tell. And
you can tell. Yeah. I mean,
congratulations.
Congratulations, women, again. And this is insane.
I believe the ones that do it quietly, the ones that don't want attention, the ones that just, whether they feel this way or not, and that's up to them. Because like I said, they're adults, whatever. Okay. You and I think there's something wrong with them. Okay. To do that to themselves. But the ones that care, they do it quietly.
Yeah.
I think the ones that are out in the open, like the Dylan Mulvaney's, or the ones we saw about the guy who hates it when his underwear chafes his balls when he's walking. So anyway, which I hate too, by the way. But anyway,
I understand.
So, but those are the ones I think that make it a problem, because there are people out there that just want to do it quietly, want to mind their own business, get it done, not flash themselves on the White House, not.
You're right.
Not do all these things, and anyway.
So just a couple other Pride headlines for you. Then you may have one or two. I don't remember. We've done the show 7 times this morning. Judicial Watch receives records detailing U.S. Air Force drag events paid for by taxpayers.
Yeah, of course. Does that shock anybody?
Well, I mean,
an innocent man gets convicted in New York.
Yes, an innocent man gets convicted in New York by a jury of his peers.
Yeah.
a jury of his peers. Yes, and then that's what happened. So there's that one, and I thought there was one more headline that I wanted to. Of course, Kansas City Chiefs came out, or some Arizona Cardinals came out with their pride thing.
Oh, was that the team that did it? I heard.
Yeah, it was the team that did it.
Not getting a lot of know your audience, people.
I know your audience is absolutely right. Let's see. Is there any more? There might be one more here. Idaho bar trolls Pride Month by celebrating heterosexual awareness month, gifting free bears to straight people. So,
all right.
good for Idaho. This is why that's why half of Oregon wants to see
that's why
Idaho.
Yep.
So there's that. Anyways, Jim, you got any Pride stuff? For us
just
this
so
morning?
we got one quick one is a hotel in Florida. Crown Plaza near Disney Springs, so it's not in Disney property.
It's within 15 minutes of Disney.
It's not a Disney. Yeah, it's not a Disney hotel. But in honor of their gay pride, because they had something at their hotel, they had a teddy bear outside dressed in bondage. Okay, because that's what I want my children to look at.
Well, I think the gay community should be absolutely. I think that they're all into bondage and S&M, right? Am I right? Gay community.
I mean, if you look at parades,
is that not what it's telling you?
I mean, you would think so.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
they are not.
So anyway,
and we know that.
So the pressure happened. So then they moved it inside.
Where? Inside
to the swimming pool. There's no kids at a swimming pool. I mean, I've been to hotels and it's just adults. It's
all adults only.
Wearing bondage, of course.
Wearing bondage.
You see it all the time, you see it. And it's like, and there's got security guards around it.
Security guards around it?
Yeah,
so us radicals don't tear it down.
Exactly. Those homophobes and transphobes that we are. Yeah. Again, folks, we have nothing against you wanting to express I don't care. Why do children have to see this crap?
Why?
I mean, yeah. Anyway.
I mean, do they put teddy bears in bikinis outside of like?
Yeah. Well, and
what's with the dress up?
I'll go ahead and do this story now that we're talking about it.
Okay.
Our Defense Department mistakenly post LGBT pride graphic for PTSD awareness month.
They got their alphabets.
I can't.
You can't make
this up. I mean, I can't. The month of June has been designated as PTSD Awareness Month by the federal government since 2014. A year before, it also became recognized as Pride Month.
Oh, great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. June is PTSD Awareness Month, and the DoD is committed to supporting service members and veterans affected by PTSD. Anyway, folks.
What did they post?
The flag.
Oh, the pride flag. Under the guise of PTSD Awareness Month?
Yeah, they pride graphics as well to recognize PTSD. And look, this... I have no other excuses for this administration. I can't.
You can't.
Have they not disrespected every single thing within this country, with the exception of the LGBTQI alphabet people crowd? But they still feel disingenuous or dis whatever you call the term. But they're still not being. This administration has given you everything.
Everything.
All right. They're allowing you to butcher
while
children.
Offending everybody.
Yeah. And anyway, but they feel that now more than ever they have to have the Pride Month. What? Are you kidding me? You guys rule the country right now. I mean, I just you and the Hamas. But anyway,
well, that's what I'm saying.
The Hamas supporters, because I'm no longer calling it anti-Israel. It is the Hamas supporters. And I got a story of AOC. She's solving everything for us. So anyway.
Oh my God!
But anyway, so come on, folks. PTSD Awareness Month in the Department of Defense should trump Gay Pride Awareness Month. I'm just saying.
Anytime.
Just saying. So, anyway,
funny you say Trump. Let's get into these convictions. Yeah, let's get into these, Jim. At what point is enough enough? for this country.
It's getting, I think,
and the 100 million voters, because I truly believe that's what he got in 2020 anyways. I truly do.
And
I truly
think
believe
he's heading that way now. I think he's heading
I think so too. I think so too. Even though there's reports that, well, some of the supporters now feel they won't vote for him because
that's
of the
bullshit.
Bullshit. It's bullshit, and that's media lying to you.
I saw it's a poll that came out. 1 in 9 Republican voters who supported. So when you say Republican voters, there's a lot of Republicans that are never Trumpers.
Never Trumpers. That's right.
So let's be careful.
Let's be very careful about that. Anyways, it's the most egregious thing I've ever seen in this. I mean, it was a good run. United States, we had a good run at being a republic. You may still be able to call yourself a democracy at this point, but a republic, I don't feel it.
Constitutional.
And I think most people don't. This was this corrupt bullshit judge who has been bought and paid for. Don't even know much about his background other than he was some sort of relative of Cuban nationals or something like that.
Yeah, he's Cuban national. But did you see the TikTok?
Which one?
It's blowing up now. I mean, I go through the TikTok feed and you see all these people coming out. Well, now it's being released that family member of Judge Marchand.
Oh, I know.
Actually, are you? This has been.
Are you kidding? It's been known since the beginning. Yeah. That's well known that his daughter's been making millions off of this.
It on MSNBC or CNN, and this is the problem. Not. Oh, now all of a sudden people are waking up.
No, they parade Cohen around after the verdict. That's what they do there. Well, we have we have another video from Scott Lebedo. Okay. Scott Lebedo, the relentless patriot, the artist, the political activist out of New York. It's been doing it for over 30 years. We had Chris,
and we're trying
making it. The movie's coming out here in a week or so.
Trying to get him on the show.
We are. We keep trying and keep trying. It'll happen. I'm going to get this guy on the show one way or the other. I don't care if I got to go to New York and somehow infiltrate enemy territory and get to him to talk to him. I will gladly do it. But this is what Scott Lebedo, and pre-warning again, Scott's from New York, very New York, extremely New York. So there's language. So if you don't want to hear it, skip this part, but it's language.
You tell he's from New York.
Yeah, but this is who he is. And we've had videos of him on the show before. And of course, our friend Christopher Martini, who's did the
big supporter of Robert De Niro.
Big supporter. No. Opposite. Listen to what Scott had to say about fingers crossed, by the way, on the internet.
Yeah, I was just going to say fingers crossed. This works.
Fingers crossed, because this is where it all goes downhill and has all damn day for us. Here's what Scott had to say about the verdict right after the verdict happened. Feels much like we all did, but the guy's spot on. Just listen.
My patriots. I'm not upset. I'm actually happy. This just proves the point of what we have to do. As I said earlier, the respect for the legal system has disappeared.
Yep.
The only decision that matters is November 5th. That's it. You need to understand that all of us, on both sides, are in the most historical moment in the history. That's right, in the history of this country, besides our revolution in the beginning. This is it. And those of you on the left, who I know, we know that you are, this is fucking bad. You're going to wake up. His polls are going to go up. And even if they don't go up, again, we're going against the machine. The media.
Yep.
Social media. The George Soroses. The Rockefellers. That put this position together. I worship this moment.
Yep.
What the fuck do you think I was doing for 30 fucking years? Could have done a million other things. for this moment in history. And you fuckers better really get the fuck fired up. Because the only fucking decision that matters, not the media on both sides, nothing, except you, your fucking heart. That's all that matters. We're gonna be okay. But it's not up to the fucking judicial system.
Yep.
It is not up to the feds. It is not up to the government. It is up to we, the fucking people. Get it through your fucking head. This is the shining moment. Shine, motherfuckers. Shine.
That
Get out.
guy
and
inspires
vote,
me, man.
Yes, we've got to get out and vote. I know we're down. We're fearful because we know it's rigged. We know they're preparing.
Yep.
They can't. It doesn't matter how many illegals are here, how many are going to vote, because you know they're going to vote. That's the only reason they're here, guys.
Yep.
And
and other things, but yes,
we need to get here. We need to vote because there's more of us than there are of them.
There, still.
And this is if you want to take America back, Americans need to vote. And if you, just because you want to keep President Trump from being president, are okay with people who have been here for less than 3 years, broke the law to get here, are taking money from people, our own people in our country that need help.
Yep.
You deserve everything you get.
Yep.
We don't.
Correct.
You do. There's other countries out there that can do exactly what you want. Go there.
Go there.
There's only one country that helps us,
and
that's this one right here.
Yep.
We don't have anywhere else to go.
Correct. Yep.
So
we're the last beacon of hope.
Yep.
You can talk about Sweden, you can talk about Norway, you can talk about places like that. There's nothing like the United States of America for a few reasons. One, because of our logistic location. We have two massive oceans that separate us from a lot of evil in this world, right?
Well, I mean, go to the Middle East and watch our gay pride parades.
Yeah, go ahead. Go watch theirs. You're right.
See them
watch their
celebrate
drag
their pride
queen.
month.
Yeah. Watch the Bagtag drag queen story hour that they're having there. Yeah, you're right. Watch all the gay pride parades in Palestine, wherever that's at.
Point.
So you go ahead and watch all that. But you're right, Jim. Good point and well said. Go there. If that's the life, go there. For the love of God, man. I mean, 18 and 20-year-olds fought for freedom in this country and independence in this country. They died. They were ridiculed. They were doxxed back then. They lost their livelihoods. They lost their family members. These were teenagers.
Sam Adams lost his everything.
Everything.
He lost everything.
Everything. Yeah, everything.
But he did it for freedom and
for these buffoons and these, excuse my language, pussies that are going to do nothing except bitch, whine, cheer the fact that they just indicted a former president, first time in the history of this country. They're going to go out there and they're going to talk about free Palestine, and they're going to want their drag queen story hours, and they're going to want to mutilate your children. And these are the people. This is what's happening. Enough's enough. Enough's enough.
And there's more of us out there than there are of them. I know there are.
We
don't agree on everything. We will not agree on everything.
Correct.
Damn it. I think we need to agree on this.
I do too. And if you think just voting, you better have your phones ready. You better be watching every son of a bitch at your local polls to make sure that there's nothing shady going on, because there's going to be shady stuff going on. You see, I apologize, but you see Muhammad over there casting a vote. I'd pull the camera out. Let me see your ID. I'd follow him to his car. I'd follow him everywhere he went. Every single one of them. I'd film it. I'd send it. This is what's going to have to happen. We're going to have to be vigilant on this. And remember, voting starts early. You can mail it in. Folks, it starts early. So Republicans, get off your ass. Do what you got to do. Volunteer at your polls. Make sure you're the one that's being vigilant, or else we're done.
And
we're done.
And I do believe this year more than any, we will have more support from the Republican side, whether it's lawyers, whether it's poll watchers. We are going to have that more this
Correct.
year. Again, there are states like Indiana. You have to have an ID to vote.
Same in Florida.
There still can be cheating. There still can be, but
it's the mail-in. It's the mail-in.
Yeah,
that's what we're.
That's what we're having a problem with, folks.
Yep.
Now, Indiana has early voting, where you can actually go vote in a machine, but you still have to have your ID. You still have to have this. But Democrats get it with the early vote, folks.
They always do.
Republicans, Dale and I agree. Election day should be election day.
That's it. National holiday, election day.
Or your military, fine. Do mail-in voting. Do all that stuff.
Well, I get that.
That's the only time it should be. But since it's not that way, okay, because again, we're having more people show up to vote, which is good legally, I hope. But it's so election day gets a little crowded, so that's why they're opening it up. And but Republicans get out early and vote. I would say vote often, but that's
force. In full force.
In most states, you can't vote often, but some you can.
And like I have in the last couple elections, I will be wearing my red.
Yep,
I wear red to there. They will clearly know who I am. Of course, I don't have I don't wear my Trump one and hat. I mean, I was
going to wear my Trump one hat and get told that I have to take it off. So.
Yeah, I know, because that's what they tell you. Yeah. But I will wear red.
But I'm telling you, those Biden-Harris hats are all over the place.
I know, they're all over the place, aren't they? I saw one. It was a dunce hat, but I mean,
you see how they're trying to make these crowds big.
Oh my God,
it's embarrassing, guys.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Well, Jim, that was Scott Lebedo. Do you want me to play Mark Levin, because he had something to say about it too?
We need to hear from Mark.
Yeah. Let's give this a go. Again, fingers crossed, people. Only the finest production here at the two sparkling guys. One fabulous Coup show. Here's Mark Levin.
More reaction. The great one, Mark Levin, is with us. Great one. I know you have a lot to say. We don't have as much time as usual.
It's a couple minutes, but listen.
I'll say this. No crime, no jurisdiction, no due process. Conflicted judge, Soros prosecutor, Manhattan jury. You know, I'm going to tell you something, Sean. I've spent most of my legal career, not as a former federal prosecutor, although I served as a chief of staff to an attorney general. I've spent most of my legal career fighting these people, suing the federal government, the DOJ, the IRS, the Treasury Department, the EPA, suing campaigns, fighting over voting rights laws, and so forth. And one thing I don't think our audience understands, and you need to understand, we have too many lawyers who are risk averse, too many lawyers who will whine and complain. I have spent 40 years sitting down with people who put on legal brass knuckles and take these bastards on in court. I'm at the appellate and Supreme Court level. That's where my focus has been my entire career. So what they need to do now, in my view, is to go up the appellate chain in New York. We need to stop whining about how long that's going to take. Seek any emergency, immediate appeal that you possibly can. That's one lane. And the other lane is to try like hell to get to the Supreme Court. People say, well, they're not going to take it. You know what? If George Patton was said, I don't think I can get to the Battle of the Bulge in time, we would have lost World War II. I am sick and tired of these legal defeatists. We need to stop whining, stop complaining. We know what the hell we're up against. It's not news. It's a fact. We got to fight these people with our smarts. We have to take some risks. We need to push the edge of the envelope. I don't mean in a way that kooks do it. We need to look at Bush versus Gore. Why did the Supreme Court take that case from the Florida Supreme Court? We need to look at things like common law writs, which I know the audience don't understand, but a lot of lawyers do. Not writs of certiorari based on statute, but common law writs based on judicial decisions. We need to give the Supreme Court the opportunity to fix this. Why? We cannot have local acting judges, Soros DAs, 15,000 district attorney's office, God knows how many state judges, destroying our federal election system, influencing how we elect the president of the United States. And if we have a pathway to bring it to the Supreme Court, even though it's rarely used, and by God, we use it. We use every legal quiver that we possibly can muster, rather than sitting around and saying, well, It'll take 3 months. Fine. Follow that. Preserve the state appellate system. And as for this idea that I have a faith in the system, what is a judge? He's flesh and blood. He's a person. He's a lawyer who happens to have a robe. If the judge doesn't respect the rule of law, why the hell should I respect the judge? If the prosecutor doesn't respect the rule of law, why the hell should I respect the prosecutor? So far, the judicial system, has let down the American people, and the Supreme Court needs to step up. This is a federal matter, a presidential matter, and it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Correct.
It's a great book. We need to dust it off. Men in Black. You wrote it. Great one, Mark Levin. Thank you. Hey.
So you had mentioned the great one. That's Jim. You mentioned it in one of our previous 72 recordings. That he took that from Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh calls Mark Levin the great one.
Yeah,
it's pretty impressive, and it's true. You may,
and guys, yes, he is right leaning. He is conservative. He's extreme.
I get that, but he's
really
a constitutionalist.
Yes, that's the thing. Everything is based on the Constitution and the law with him. Okay,
but that's the problem, Jim. Is that the Constitution is considered right-wing extremism now? That's
okay. How many amendments have we had?
Oh, I know.
Okay, so I know you, and I agree with what you said. It's all same, but no, the amendment, and we're going to get into who have the Dems jailed.
Yep.
All right, we're going to get into that here pretty soon. And this, I'm speechless when it comes to these individuals.
I am too.
Guys, I really believe less than 20% of the population is running this country.
Oh, for sure. Maybe
and
even
the
less.
Other 80% are allowing it to happen.
Yep.
Because we have a number of people sitting on their ass saying that is never going to happen. Stop.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. Or what can I do about it? Or what can I do? Well, first of all,
and we're called the fascists.
First of all, you better have a way to protect yourself, right? Yep. You better have. We talked about this. Better have a way to eat, survive.
And there's a lot of great companies out there that you can buy that with.
There's a lot of great companies you can buy that with.
Patriot, was it?
Patriot.com.
Yeah.
They sell a lot of rations, a lot of solar power generators,
drinking water filtration systems, and those aren't very expensive at all. But I'm not trying to be.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go on. Two-way,
we're not trying to be these preppers, guys. I'm not. We're not.
Yeah, but you got to prep.
But you better prepare.
You better prepare.
You better be
ready.
Just think about what happens if President Trump wins the election. Just think about what happens. Do you think it's going to be peaceful like it was when these 12 jurors convicted? I mean, look at all the violence that happened when the Republicans found out that we didn't do it, folks.
No, we
didn't cause the violence. We didn't cause anything.
Millions.
We shut down his donation
because there were so many.
Because it crashed. People were donating money. That's what we do.
So do you think if he wins, it's going to be worse than if he loses? There's difference. There's a difference.
It depends how he loses.
There's only one way he's going to lose. There's only one way he's going to lose.
Nowhere fairness, he'll lose.
Correct.
In a fair election, it's a blowout.
Or he's not going to be able to run. One of the two.
Which we believe something's going to come up.
Yep. But if he loses, then the country's. I think we're done. I think it then becomes socialist at that point.
Because, like J.J. Carroll said, these Venezuelan nationals who are not peaceful, loving people, they're not coming here to
machete wielding.
That is not what they're doing. Okay, when that money stops coming into them, what do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to go back home? You think they're going to go get jobs? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
They're going to steal. They're going to take from you, Americans.
And they're going to take from the weak first.
Yep.
The weak first.
Yep.
Don't be the weak.
Yep.
Don't be the weak. That's all I'm saying. Prepare yourself. That's the preparation. You have to protect your family in order to be able to protect your country. Yep. So it's got to start at home, and each one of us got to be vigilant. And know your circle. Know your circle, who you can trust. Yep. That's another thing.
And
just know
you mentioned
who your
this
circle
before,
is.
And you got me thinking on it, and you're right. We have too many people coming out saying, "Don't blame the jurors. Don't blame the jurors."
Yep.
I don't 100% blame the jurors. No, the judge and
not.
the prosecution, it was all hoaxed. It was all set up. And
Yep.
trust me, Biden had everything to do with this. Don't let him fool you.
100%.
But what I'd say the jurors is they're scared. They're cowards. All right, because if they would have found him not guilty, okay, exonerated him, what do you think the left would have done?
Oh, that's it.
AOC,
Their lives would have been destroyed.
all of these people would have went out to the streets. Violence. We got to stop this crap. They're trying to steal this.
Yep.
Threats would have been made to these jurors
and their families.
Yep, and the lawyers. They would have probably been disbarred somehow by some makeup charges. And don't sit there and say that, you guys, that's not going to. This is exactly what would have happened if they would have.
That's exactly what would have happened.
All right. So I call them cowards because this is what they, in the left, just listen to what they said the entire time. They kept saying these things, these people putting out there he's trying to take over the country. He will not, if he gets elected, he won't leave. All these things that they're being thrown out there. It was getting their base ready to attack. I know. Oh, then that's exactly what they were doing.
The history shows us that.
Yes.
History shows us
exactly what they
and then you have people like this, like Maxine Waters, who spews this thing and then really questions why this might happen. But here's Maxine Waters.
Spend some time with the criminal justice system, with the justice system, asking them, tell us what's going on with the domestic terrorists. Are they preparing a civil war against us? Should we be concerned about our safety? What is he doing with this divisive language? It is dangerous, and we're going to have to make sure that we understand that we're not at risk with this man talking in the way that he's doing.
I mean, she asked the question, should we be fearful of a civil war with this rhetoric? Of course you should be. You're creating it.
Yes, they are.
You're the one that won't give 100 million people the right to choose their candidate to vote for. And then you're going to ask, should we be concerned that there might be an uprising? We're dictators. We are basically stymieing their voices. We have stifled every avenue to get them to vote for who they want. And we've told them, here's who you need to vote for, because we're going to help you. And we're letting all these illegals. And then you're asking yourself, should you be concerned that we might be a little upset about that?
And
really, Maxine?
How dare her with the black people in this country that are being harmed because of these illegals coming in?
That's right.
Because we've seen it time and time again. It's the black communities that are suffering, folks. It's not, they are suffering the most. This is where they're being put. This is where they're being housed. And the black communities are losing their community centers. They're losing their apartment buildings because it's better to kick them out and take the $9,000 a month from the government. So shame on her for turning her back on her people. But see, Dale, you hit it right on the head. They're the ones causing the problem. They call us domestic terrorists. Okay, take January 6th out.
Take it out.
Where? Because you can't call it what, South Carolina, that the tragedy that happened in South Carolina. That wasn't us.
That's right.
That was not us. And it's you're right. Dale.
It's embarrassing.
What are they doing? What are they doing?
Yeah, what are they causing? Jim, I had a couple more videos, but I have gone on along. I mean, I've got the sheriff. Do you want to hear the sheriff?
Yeah, I think
in Riverside?
It's important to have the sheriff because this is a perfect example.
Perfect example of it. So here's a sheriff from Riverside, California, and then we can get on to you've got a lot of stuff too that you. Oh, there's one more thing I do want to play. Shoot, but here's the sheriff. Yeah,
Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. Now, for the past 30 years, I've been doing everything I could to keep our community safe by arresting criminals and putting them in jail and putting them in prison. For the last 5 years, I've been very critical about our governor for slashing our budgets from corrections, for letting prisoners out early, closing our prisons.
You know what they say, you must go through the dark to see the light. Or, in order to be a Republican, you must first be a Democrat to realize how crazy they are. And after 30 years, this Riverside sheriff is now on Team Trump.
and really being an embarrassment to law enforcement. And this love affair that our governor and our state legislature have with criminals is based on the belief that criminals are not responsible for their own actions. They're a victim of society. I gotta be honest, I'm getting tired. I think that we need to go big. I'm all in. I think it's time we put a felon in the White House. Trump 2024, baby.
Yeah.
Let's save this country and make America great again.
Yep. There you go. I mean, aren't they all about giving second chances and the criminal justice reforms? But not now, right? Not now. But here's what I really want to play, and then Jim, I will let you go on. While all that was happening, all right, and all this Trump stuff and all the Palestine protests and all that, the Georgia Board of Elections got together, okay, and they had they started questioning the 2020 election again. All right, again, the free and fair election of 2020, right? Here's what happened during that. Let's listen here.
Does the investigation confirm that there are missing ballot images?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Do you know why 380,761 ballot images from Election Day machine count are not available?
Listen.
We subpoenaed Fulton County for all of their ballot images. We received approximately 518,000 ballot images.
From Election Day?
Those were for the recount.
Those are from the recount, but we have no ballot images for 380,761 ballots from Election Day, correct?
What was subpoenaed was the ballot images for the recount because that's what this
answer is
case
yes.
was about.
Yeah.
Not the election day.
Does Fulton County know why there are not 380,761 ballot images from Election Day?
As with the investigators,
No.
we have not been apprised of this allegation. This is
Oh, they haven't been apprised.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
what the basis of that allegation is, and so we would have to, we can't answer that at this time.
Would Fulton County agree that every vote should have a ballot image?
They have
nothing
idea.
happened.
He lost by
Nothing
what,
happened in
11,000 votes in
Pennsylvania.
Georgia?
Nothing
Georgia?
happened in Pennsylvania, and nothing happened.
Nothing happened in Wisconsin. Nothing happened in Michigan.
Well, just those two
Nothing
states.
happened in Arizona.
Would have
Mhm.
given
Just take
Trump
those two states.
the election.
Yep. Georgia and Pennsylvania, and he
Pennsylvania.
wins the election.
Yep.
And he wins the election. 380,000 ballots.
Yep.
No record of. No record of.
None.
Come on, people. How much more do you freaking need?
And you saw them. Well, we were subpoenaed. That's not what she asked you.
That's not what she asked you. She asked you, is there a reason? Do we know why there isn't? Well, we were just made apprised of this allegation. What, for the last 4 effing years you've been made aware of this allegation.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, folks, you know what's happening here.
Okay,
you know
so
what's
before
happening here.
Before we play out, I want to, if you don't mind playing the one video, the real quick one.
No, but I don't care.
Who the Democrats have convicted over the years.
Here we go.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so I want you guys to let me know what you think of this
Is this
one.
it?
All 3 of these people, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Donald J. Trump, all got arrested by Democrats. I wonder what you guys think about this. Let me know down in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it shows a very diverse
crowd.
Black and
Yeah.
white. So good job, Democrats. But
yeah, good job, Democrats. Equal
do
opportunity
people forget
assholes.
that?
Mm-hmm.
Do people forget that?
Yeah.
That they were arrested by Democrats,
Mm-hmm.
but we're the racist.
Yep.
How did
Correct.
that happen?
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep.
And then I think we need to move on to other stories. And
Yep.
if you're ready, let's
I'm
play
ready.
the President Trump. He said this. I believe
sorry.
it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
It was a speech in front of West Point. I believe it was West Point.
I believe it was.
Listen to what he
this.
said.
You're right.
A few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to take this opportunity to give you some advice. Over the course of your life, you will find that things are not always fair. You will find that things happen to you that you do not deserve and that are not always warranted. But you have to put your head down and fight, fight, fight. Never, ever, ever give up. Things will work out just fine. Adversity makes you stronger. Don't give in, don't back down, and never stop doing what you know is right. Nothing worth doing ever, ever, ever came easy. And the more righteous your fight, the more opposition that you will face. Nothing worth doing ever came easy.
Yep.
Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation.
Yep, very true.
Reagan-esque speech. Reagan-esque.
Yep, Reagan-esque speech.
But this is what he's doing.
And
the funny thing about it, the left who hate him, he's fighting for them too.
I know.
He's fighting for all of our freedoms. I don't understand.
I heard one Democratic pundit say, well, if this wasn't, should Trump go to jail? Should he not go to jail? Well, I've heard, this is what the Democrat says. I've heard it, well, if his name wasn't Donald Trump, then he probably would go to jail, because anybody else would go to jail for, wait a second. If his name wasn't Donald Trump, he would have never even been tried.
We wouldn't even be hearing about it.
We wouldn't even be hearing about it. If he wasn't
there might have been a fine, like was given to Hillary, by the way.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So, I mean, let's not forget that Hillary is not in jail. That last I saw, there was no investigation into the hush money that Bill Clinton paid.
Yep. Fauci's still out and about.
Yeah. I mean, like last I saw, none of that was happening. As a matter of fact, not one single Epstein client has been tried and convicted, but President Trump has been.
Yep.
Folks, that's all we need to say about that. Jim,
yeah.
So you got other videos too. I don't know when you want to play those, but it's up to you.
I do want. You have a story on Mayorkas, right?
No, I got a story on Merrick Garland. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't have Mayorkas's.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Okay. So I want. I want to start talking about. I'm double checking some of my stories here. I'm going to go into this one thing real quick, and then I want you to play that video. A Biden co-chair, if Trump wins, it's not democracy. He has to destroy democracy to be president.
Oh, okay.
All right. Mitch Landrieu stated this. In order for President Trump to win, democracy has to be. So if you could play Josh Hawley in his questioning of Mayorkas.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. You want that
So
now?
this is your policies in action, Mr. Secretary. A criminal is permitted into this country on grounds flatly not permitted, expunged. Nothing is done to this guy. He had a criminal record to start with. He's in the country on illegal grounds. You have falsely and illegally allowed him in. He commits a crime against a child. He's not prosecuted. It's expunged. In November, get this. In November, Ibarra files an application for employment authorization. And unbelievably, on December the 9th, 2023, it's approved. So this is your policies in action, Mr. Secretary. A criminal is permitted into this country on grounds flatly not permitted, flatly contradictory to the statute. He commits a crime against a child, and then he gets a work permit. He gets a work permit. You want to know why all of the jobs in the last 2 or 3 years have gone to illegal migrants? Working people in this country can't get a job. Their unemployment rate's high. Why? Because of things like this. And then what's he do? Well, we all know that in February, he commits the heinous crime against Laken Riley.
Yep.
Is this a record that you are proud of?
Senator, you've misstated some facts.
I have read from the parole file, which you have said you don't recall, don't have, you miscited. I'm reading from it. It is right here. And I've just, pursuant to the speech and debate clause, I have just read it into the record. And the reason is, you have lied repeatedly to Congress. and to the American people about this. They deserve to know. And the only way they're going to know is if I tell them. I've just told them.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the record now. I've read it verbatim from the parole file. Verbatim. I just want to know, why did you change your story so often? Why didn't you just answer honestly to Congressman Bishop and Senator Britt?
Senator, I am confident that justice will be vindicated in the criminal prosecution of the case.
Well, hopefully he'll get more of a trial than you got. Otherwise, there'll be no justice for anyone at all.
God, Josh,
folks,
for the love of God.
I start out by that comment from Mitch Landrieu that Trump has to destroy democracy to get elected, and democracy is gone. You just heard what the Biden administration is doing.
Yep.
Say her name.
Yep. That's right.
We're still talking about George Floyd today.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, right.
We're still hearing
Floyd.
about him.
Mm-hmm.
We're hearing about the angel wings on the mural that is belt hair. Laken Riley's name has dropped off of their lips, their tongues, not ours.
Yep.
Because this is what's going on in this country. And Laken Riley is the person that is in center of it, but there's other people that have been
there's many
children
others.
have been raped and all of this stuff. Who is a threat to democracy?
Mm-hmm.
Who is a threat to our constitutional republic? It's not us. It's not MAGA supporters. It is not us at all. It is who's in charge right now.
Correct.
That who's a Anyway,
Jim, can I read this headline? Because it goes exactly with what you said. Haitian man indicted for sexual assault at Massachusetts migrant shelter arraigned on child rape charges. These are the savages, the animals that they're letting into this country to run wild. Are those people? This person in a hotel used to house migrants in a hotel, raped the child, and finally, he's arraigned on child rape charges. He'll go walking. Because they can't have this kind of crap in the news. He'll be set free.
And then I want to a CNN data guru declares Trump gains among black voters could be deadly. Can you play the video of the black voters, please?
What has Joe Biden done for the minority community?
He's done nothing but say, you ain't black.
Incarcerated us. Not a thing.
Absolutely nothing. I really could not tell you what he's done. Joe Biden says, if you don't support him, you ain't black. Are you black?
Hey, Joe, guess what?
Oh, I'm absolutely black, and I support Trump. I don't know why he would say that. He's not even black.
I guess I said I ain't black, because I'm not voting for him.
Trump is more black than him. Trump is black as I am. You heard?
Folks, this is a group of individuals, group of people, a voting bloc.
Yeah.
That Republicans never got. I think George W. Bush got 8%.
I think so. I think
that might have been the most. Really?
Yeah, I don't know what Trump got in the last one. They'll never tell us.
No.
On that.
Before Trump.
Before Trump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at it now. I mean, they're waking up. America is waking up and realizing
they feel disenfranchised, and they feel Trump has been the same. So,
and they're finally seeing the Democrats for who they are.
Yep, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Wow.
Now, I do want to add one quick thing before we go into the stories. Voter ID can be done.
No,
you know how it can be done?
How?
A billion voters have spoken. Indian Prime Minister Modi scores a gigantic win in the world's largest democratic election where voter ID is required.
Yep. In India. I mean,
India.
This is going to be the stupidest question, and it is not racial in any way, but they have like DMVs in India. Like, I don't know these.
Yeah, they have similar to it because they drive. You have to have a driver's license. You have to do stuff like that.
Okay, that I get.
But not everybody drives.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Just like in the United States of America. And if you want to see poor folks, I've been to India 7 times.
You have.
Okay. You want to see poor?
Yeah.
Go there.
Yeah.
Okay. Broken down buildings. Bricks are used to make temporary housing for people. Okay. It's not a way of life there.
It is the life.
People don't choose to be homeless there. All right. They're not homeless because they're not taking their medication.
Correct.
They're homeless because it's a poor country.
Yep. That's why.
They require voter ID.
Yeah.
Just saying. It
Just
can be
saying.
done, folks. It can be done.
Jim, do you want to get into a couple stories here real quick?
Yes, absolutely have to.
probe into EV payoffs. Let's go into that real quick because that interests me.
Now, I know he's threatened by a Democrat candidates running against Rick Scott.
Oh yeah, okay, senator, great senator, great state.
Well, and it looks like he is going to take over, which he should. The Republican head, the minority leader in the Republican Senate, because McConnell's got to go.
Well,
but there was a article on CNN how he is in danger, of possibly getting beat by. Tell me it's not even close.
Yeah,
just tell me. No.
Come
But
on.
anyway, folks, we knew this, okay, because there's only one other way that auto dealers are being forced to make these EVs, right? You're being forced. Like, try and find an American sedan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
a combustible engine sedan. Try and find one.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not being made anymore. SUVs are, which burns more gas, by the way, than sedans. But I digress.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we knew something was happening, right? Well, Senator Rick Scott wants to lead an investigation of whether a Biden administration is cooking the books to boost electric vehicle ratings to pay off automakers with absorbent subsidies incorrectly and likely intentional. Scott, along with Senators Mike Lee, Republican out of Utah, Roger Marshall out of Kansas, Dan Sullivan, Arkansas, and Pete Ricketts, Nebraska, called on Government Accountability Office Comptroller General Gene Dodaro to open an investigation. Won't happen.
Won't happen.
Okay, so these standards have come in, folks, and just to give you an idea of what we're talking about, while the Environmental Protection Agency fuel economy rating of EVs averages to around 100 miles per gallon, equivalent to miles per gallon on fuel vehicles, right? The PEF uses the full content factor that rates 1 gallon equivalent of electricity as 0.15 gallons of gasoline, creating a 6.67 multiplier. Okay? This multiplier enables automakers to earn nearly 7 times more credits. Because remember, they're getting credits from the federal government per vehicle they put out.
Yep.
In other words, taxpayer money.
Taxpayer money.
Okay. Then their rated fuel economy will allow, generates a hidden subsidy that is likely exceeding $10,000 per EV.
Per vehicle.
So, folks, if you want to know why the automakers are stopping making sedans, are closing plants to make only EV vehicles, they're getting more money from the federal government to do so because they're not selling them. They're not selling.
Yep, we know that.
They're not selling.
Yeah.
This is why they're still making money, folks.
That's right.
So, look, you and I have been talking about this since day one. I don't know when people are going to wake up and realize that this global warming thing is a hoax. It's a moneymaker for the left. They want to demonize oil. Yes. They want to demonize it all to hell. This is more damaging to our environment and to our economy than anything else out there. Agreed. And until people wake up and realize it, again, we can't help them. We can't help idiots, right? No. We can't. No. You can't fix stupid.
No. Can't fix stupid. Nope. Anyway. Nope. And there's a lot of stupid that needs to be fixed, Jim. That's incredible. Let me tell you a little bit about Attorney General Merrick Garland. We all know what kind of scumbag he is, but he really is interfering in the election, and here's why. AG Merrick Garland classifies embarrassing audio recordings of Joe Biden's interview with special counsel Hur as top secret and locks away in high security facility. Now, he has been subpoenaed by Congress to produce these audio tapes, and now he refuses to.
Now, if
is that contempt of Congress?
If you were subpoenaed,
oh my God,
by Mayorkas,
I'd be in jail until
not Mayorkas, by Garland, and you didn't present it, what would happen to you?
Oh, I'd be arrested. I'd be arrested.
You would be raided with the SWAT team.
Raided,
force.
SWAT, and arrested, Yeah. So, Attorney General Merrick Garland has reportedly classified at the highest level the audio tapes of Joe Biden's embarrassing interview with special counsel Hur. The tapes have been locked away in a sensitive compartment information facility, SCIF, SCIF, according to investigative journalist Paul Sperry. Earlier this year, Washington Post reporter Matt Visor revealed that special counsel Robert Hur concluded that Joe Biden recklessly mishandled sensitive materials discovered at his home and former office. Disturbingly, the investigation also uncovered that Biden shared government secrets with his ghostwriter, further underscoring his blatant disregard for national security. Adding to this damning report, it was revealed that during interviews with the special counsel, Biden struggled to answer even basic questions such as when he served as vice president, which we know now was during the pandemic, as he said in one of his speeches, or the year his son Beau passed away from brain cancer. However, the DOJ opted not to bring charges against Biden. Why, Jim? Citing concerns that a jury would deem him too mentally incompetent to stand trial. I know we've heard this before, but I'm reminding you.
And
he was too mentally
as president
incompetent
of the United States
to stand trial. Mentally incompetent.
We can't make this up. The Babylon Bee. This did not come from the Babylon Bee.
This is not a made up story.
No,
he's too incompetent to stand trial. I know we've heard it before, but since they distract us with Palestine and Trump trials and Trump bogus trials, we like to remind people that he was deemed mentally incapable to stand trial.
Folks, just to give you an idea,
as if we didn't know that already,
what President Biden has done.
Yeah,
when he was vice president.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
20 times worse.
Vice president. He had no authority to have any classified documents.
President Trump of doing. Mm-hmm. He has admitted on tape of withholding money from a country unless they fired the lawyer that was, or the prosecutor that was going after Hunter.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Burisma.
They were going to hold the money, which again is what President Trump was impeached on, by the way.
Correct. Yep.
So again,
a fake
why is
pro
he,
quo charge,
President Trump, being held to different standards than other politicians?
We asked that question.
He's not a politician.
Yeah, because he's not a politician. Because he can't be bought and paid for. Because he's not part of the deep state. He's not part of the Illuminati. I don't care what you call it. Call it what you want.
I think it's worse than the Illuminati.
I think so too. So he's not Soros funded. He's a threat to them.
Yep.
He's a threat. He's a threat to socialism.
Yep.
Is what he is. He's a threat to socialism. Yep. Jim, so that's happening. And by hiding that, is that not election interference? Is he interfering with an election? Because why can't we hear those tapes and let the people decide?
They're allowed to do it.
Mm-hmm. Election interference by Attorney General Merrick Garland, who, by the way, deemed moms and dads domestic terrorists. Remember, don't forget that either. Jim, tell me a little bit about did you already tell me about that? The Woke Defense Department?
Yeah,
you didn't.
We already did that. Yep.
You already did that. What else you got then?
But if you want to hear, this is long, so we won't. I guess we won't go into it. But
don't.
Huh?
I have a lot. Don't. I have a lot of
No. Yeah. Yes, that's why I'm not. But California Democrat Senator Susan Telemontes Eggman.
Oh,
go watch it on TikTok.
Do you want me to play it? It's a couple of minutes, right? Only.
Yeah.
Is it worth playing?
Okay, play it because she agrees with two guys, two sparkly guys, in one fabulous coup. Okay, she agrees with us.
Here we go.
I'm done. I'm done with us protecting people who would buy and abuse our children. I'm done. I don't want to send more black and brown men to prison. I don't want more people in prison, but I don't want people buying girls. I don't want people buying little girls anymore. And I'm tired of saying it's okay and that we have to protect the men who do it. As a mental health professional and as a social worker, I can tell you I've spent my entire career working with people who have been wounded. I'm not going to say beyond repair, but they have been wounded to their core by the abuse that's been heaped on them, oftentimes by those that they love and look to protect them. And if their parents won't do it, then by God, we should. Again, I am not arguing that we open the gates to flood our prisons with people, but I am arguing that we have a moral responsibility to say enough. Enough. We have given away enough on this area, And we've got to move back into the center, or we all look like fools and laughing stocks. And what do we stand for? I asked all of you to watch the documentary that Senator Grove was in, Senator from Kern County was just in, that talked about this very place in Sacramento where girls are being bought and sold. Men are being given a little slap in the hand or a couple days, and then they're back out again, and they do the same thing. They get caught over and over and over again, and somehow that's okay. It's not okay. It is not okay anymore, and no more on my watch. And like I said, I'm leaving, but the rest of you who are going to be here for a while, let's get our stuff together and really start focusing on some of the important things. We talk about learning, and we talk about being safe. This is like at the core of it. And a lot of these kids can be throwaway kids. They're poor kids. They're kids of color. But they shouldn't have to live a life determined by what happens to them by others at a very young age, and by have the Democratic Party of California say it's okay. It's not okay. And I'm not doing it anymore, and I hope none of you do too. We have to be able to draw a line, and for me, I'm drawing a line. I urge your I vote.
Wow.
Absolutely phenomenal. And because California, folks, is the state.
I'm glad I played that. I hadn't heard that.
Yep. It is the state that is the worst for human trafficking, for abuse of children, for these illegals coming in. And folks, that is what this is about. These illegals are walking into this country, walking away with kids, in with kids, out with kids. This is just for votes. But there is a brave Democrat in California.
What is
She's
her name?
leaving the party. Her name is Susan Telemontes Eggman.
Okay.
And she is leaving the Democrat Party. She's not coming to the Republican Party. Okay. We know there's still some issues out there where we disagree with, but damn it, she is a progressive Democrat is how she considers herself. We are MAGA Republicans.
Yep.
We agree on that issue.
We agree on this.
There is we agree 100% with what she said. That is a brave Democrat who just you and I have been saying this since day one. The Democrats obviously want this. They obviously want people to die in the streets. They obviously want children sold, bought, women sold and bought. They don't care.
They don't care.
Thank you, Senator Eggman.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Wow. That was powerful and well said. And you could feel her passion and her anger at the same time. Really, honestly. Rare we agree with Democrats, but it's also rare that it gets any play, that any of this what our side says and what their side says. I'm telling you folks, 80% we agree on. I'm telling you, they can't have us united like this. They can't.
Yeah, we're not
they
always going to
lose
agree
their agenda.
We're not agree on everything about abortion. We're not.
No.
Right?
No,
some people are going to
we're
have their, but we can agree on something.
Yep.
Right? We can agree on something. The majority of us can. We're not always going to agree on.
Again, 80% can agree on the 80%.
Exactly. We're not all going to agree on transgender and how affirming care and all this stuff. We're not always going to agree on it, but we can agree on something. And I guarantee you it's around the children. It is all going to be around the children. 80% of us.
The other 10% don't give a shit. It's bizarre.
20%. Yeah. Who cares? Okay. 80% of us are going to say no.
Yep.
So stop it. Stop letting 20% of the country control what we do.
Correct.
And one last thing. You know what? She is about as smart as you can get. AOC has just solved the problem.
Oh boy.
In Israel.
What?
She has identified what has caused it. The Abraham
Accords. Jews. Oh, but go on.
Jerusalem embassy. When we moved the Jerusalem embassy, right?
Yep. So it was Trump.
Golan Heights for the attack and Golan Heights for the attack of 7th. It wasn't Hamas.
No.
Okay. Hamas didn't do it. It was the Abraham Accords. The
Abraham Accords.
Every time every time she opens her mouth, she makes sense.
Oh, doesn't she? Every time she opens her mouth, I feel dumber.
Well, every time she opens her mouth, she makes sense, and it makes me wonder, what the hell are people in the Bronx doing?
Yeah, I know.
She is your representative.
35,000 showed up to tell her what what they thought of her. Jim, let me finish with this real quick. Hunter Biden's criminal trial began today. So the gun trial, they picked the jurors. The jurors have already sat down. We feel, I feel this. Here's my point.
This is a good judge.
I'm happy that's
so far.
happening. Huh?
This is a good judge so far.
So far. And I'm glad this is happening. Okay. Because it will eventually tie the pieces together. The problem is, keep it going, Republicans. Why are you not? Merrick Garland should be subpoenaed. I mean, I understand it's hard to do this because they're not in control of the Department of Justice. Biden and Obama and Valerie Jarrett and George Soros and all that are in charge. I get that. But just keep doing it and we're having the hearing with Dr. Fauci. I was going to talk about that too. He admits that he had no scientific basis for the masks.
Isn't that great?
The guy spent a lifetime killing dogs to test on them. I mean, this is all stuff that's coming up again today, and Fauci will sit there and he'll buffoon his stupid way through it, and then off it goes. When he should be arrested.
Yeah. Why he is not
arrested
in jail right now?
Yes.
And I'm telling you, let me rephrase that. Prison. And depending where it's at, death penalty. Because how many people did he kill?
How many people did he kill?
Potentially the worst serial killer in the history of the world.
Potentially, Dr. Fauci.
With his lies.
Yes, with his lies. He admits he made up tyrannical COVID guidelines, including child masking and social distance. They were based on assumptions, not science. That's not what the hell he said. That's not what he said. This is scientific. We must keep children out of school because it's going to harm the children. That was the least demographic it was going to harm. And we know that. We knew that then. We know it now. But when is he going to be in prison for it? Never. Never will he be, because it was all part of the deep state big plan. It was a lab mate. We know that. He was part of it. He was part of the research.
I got news for you. He's if he ever gets tried and he goes to trial, where it's an actual trial, and then
he won't.
They sit there and go up and say, okay, look, we can do a plea here.
Yep.
That man will not survive.
Yep. He will not survive. Oh, he'll kill himself. No, somebody.
Bill Gates is very much a part of this as anyone else, folks.
Yeah. He will hang himself like Epstein did in jail.
Yeah. And all they have to do is call Hillary and say, hey, the guy that made the Arkansas State Police believe that a guy shot himself in the chest, drove to the woods, and hung himself, committed suicide. That's who I want.
Yeah, we need that guy. We need that guy. So anyways, we'll go more on that, but he was heckled coming into the courtroom as he was entering the Capitol, entering the Capitol. Trump calls on U.S. Supreme Court to intervene after being convicted of a made up crime in a kangaroo court. That's great that he calls on him, because that's basically Mark Levin's point. Just keep doing it and do it. Go through the appellate process, but keep pressuring the Supreme Court to take this case.
I forgot all about this.
What?
But Florida, they stepped in.
Yeah. You talking about Bush Gore? That whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah. They stepped in.
Yeah.
So why can't we do that now? Why can't all the appellate courts sit there and say, no, we're passing. Let it go to the Supreme Court and let them vote. And I dare those three progressives on the court. Now, they ruled in favor of the NRA, by the way.
They did.
We did forget that. And if anybody hadn't noticed, the NRA was suing the state of New York for violation of their First Amendment rights by taking away their ability to speak because of who they were. Sotomayor wrote what do they call those damn things?
The decision?
The decision. She wrote the decision. Unanimous, folks.
Unanimous.
9-0. So there is a thread of, okay, Constitution, law, this is what it is. And there's no way any of those three liberals can sit there and say that man had a fair trial or was right. No way.
No way. A couple other headlines before we leave. Leftist climate scientist and COVID pandemic hardliner. Yes, Claudia Sheinbaum is the first woman elected to as a Mexican
Is that
president.
who that was?
Yeah, she's terrible. She's a lefty beyond
This ought to
lefty,
be great.
So this ought to be great. Yep. I'm trying to see if there's any other quick headlines before we get out of here, Jim. Nearly every potential juror. Oh, hold on a sec. Let me see this. Nearly every potential juror answers yes to one question during selection in Hunter Biden trial. What is that question? I'm going to tell you right now. Jury selection, no jurors are seated currently in the pool. Also in the pool, of the initial 250 jurors, 25 moved on. I'm having a tough time finding it in the story here.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. Sorry. The judge said the pool would be narrowed down to 36. Well, it's unlikely. So every 15 have been dismissed. Sorry. Why don't they tell me? They got a headline, but I can't find it. Can you, Jim? Almost every prospective juror says they've heard about the Hunter Biden case. Well, so every single one of them has said they heard about it.
Hey, I want to see the person that said they didn't.
I do too.
Why are you on a jury pool?
Jim, it sounds like the FBI is about ready to SWAT your house. I hear it outside. I hear sirens. You okay, buddy? Anyways, folks, thank you again. Please.
I did forget something.
Oh no.
One of our valued listeners, and
is it a birthday or
feel really bad? Nope.
What is it?
Graduated last week.
Oh, for God's sakes, I know what we're talking about.
Honors.
Yeah, so, congratulations.
Congratulations to my niece. I don't think her mom likes it when I say her name on the air, so I will not. Congratulations to you and to all the graduating seniors.
Please.
The only thing I pay your student loans. That's all I'm going to do.
Pay your student loans, and please don't participate in a free Palestine.
Just go to college and have fun. But
pay your bills, and remember the liberal bullshit you're about to run into.
Oh, and if you start chanting "From the river to the sea," stop.
Yep, exactly. Stop.
So.
Stop.
But
congratulations
to her and all the seniors that graduated.
Yep. Good luck. It's a tough world out there, but try to make it better by not being indoctrinated by the left's bullshit. Jim?
Yeah, follow your uncle and his co-host. We'll lead you right.
That's right. That's right. Like, follow, and share on Rumble, please, everybody. We appreciate it. We're gaining some more followers. We're getting some good attention out there, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Jim, we're going to be back Thursday with another episode. Until then,
fabulous episode, Dan.
Oh, sparkling and fabulous episode.
That's right.
Pride Month continues, people. Tune in.
I think we should wear our sequins.
You think so?
Or something.
Yeah, maybe we will. Just to participate, just to get our fair share of the money that they give out, right?
And we'll have
we
more
don't get
stories. About Pride Month as
well. Oh, you know it. They're popping up every second. Jim, I'm done. Everybody,
stories that they may not want us to talk about,
but they're not so prideful. Jim, until we see each other again, I say goodbye to you. Thank you, everybody, and we'll talk to you later.
America, and pray for President Trump.
Pray for us all. See you, buddy.
You've been listening to the Two Guys, One Coup podcast with Dale and Jim. Remember, you can watch on YouTube and Rumble and listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you like what you hear, go ahead and give us a 5-star review. We really appreciate it, and it helps others find us when searching for podcasts. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and TikTok. Just search for Two Guys, One Coup. That's the number 2, guys, and the number 1, Coup, C-O-U-P. Thanks again for listening to the Two Guys, One Coup podcast, and God bless the United States of America.